Hi kids, how are we doing this morning? Well, it's not really morning here. Okay, I'm done with that. How y'all doing? Hopefully things going all right for you. Again, make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're taking care of your mental and your physical. Get outside, get some exercise. Don't just sit around and watch YouTube videos of Mr. Stevens trying to teach you algebra. As much fun as that would be, there's only so many of them out there because I just started this. So you're going to run out of time real fast. So make sure you're getting some exercise. Make sure you're taking care of what you need to take care of. Make sure you're taking care of your mental, take care of your physical. And we're going to take care of your educational right here, right now. Yesterday we talked about the zero product property. So why would we learn about such a crazy thing? Well, we're going to tie it all in here as we go. Today we're going to talk about solving quadratic equations. Those are big words. Break it down. This is what it means. First off, what is a quadratic equation? The stuff that we talked about last chapter, all that factoring stuff, you'll notice it popping up right here in all these problems. A quadratic equation is something with an x squared in it. So you'll remember hopefully all the stuff from last chapter, the x squareds. Now we're going to be solving those instead of just factoring them. So, quick refresher of our zero product property from yesterday. So, hopefully you remember, I'm going to take each of my factors separately and find the zeros of that. So I would set each one equal to 0. This has 3 factors, so we're going to have 3 zeros or 3 answers here. I have 7x equals 0. How am I going to solve that equation? Divide by 7. Very good. So x equals 0. I have x plus 3 equals 0. Don't skip steps here. A lot of people made some mistakes on that quiz yesterday, that little homework check. We're trying to go too fast here. Remember, you do the opposite to solve an equation. I warned you guys about trying to do these in your head. Now I come down to something like this. Three factors, 3 zeros, 3 answers. 0, -3, and 5/2 are all answers. So then, of course, you guys are looking ahead, because I can barely keep you focused when we're in class, and you're looking at the next problem, and you're thinking, but look at number 2. It doesn't look like this. You're right, it doesn't look like this. We have to factor number 2. We learned 3 types of factoring. We learned GCF. We learned the factoring of the trinomials with the multiplying and the adding and the bottoms-up method. And we learned the difference of perfect squares. So you need to remember those 3 methods from last chapter in order to be able to pull this off. So if you struggled with that stuff, you might want to find some other things. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments, and then I can try and find some other resources for you if that's where you're getting stuck. So here we go. I take a look at this. It's a binomial, and we talked about what kind of factoring do I check first. You always, always, always check for a GCF first. So this one right here is GCF factoring. So then I need to figure out what these have in common. Well, I got 7x squared and 14x. If it doesn't come to you right away, you pull out your factor sheet. Oh, Mr. Stevens, I didn't bring my factor sheet. Well, lucky for you, you got the Google machine in your hand. Look one up, okay? If I have the resource, maybe I'll post it in there for you. See if we can get you taken care of. I might be able to find one for you. But until then, try to find the GCF. Try to find the biggest thing that they have in common. 7 and 14. 7 is my GCF. Not sure why I wrote that all the way over there. 7 is my GCF. Variables. I got an x squared and I got an x. Again, if you remember back to last chapter, we take the smallest exponent on what they have in common. So this is an x squared. Find the same base. This is x to the first. Remember our invisible 1. So my GCF is 7x. Don't forget the other part of GCF. You need to factor it out and divide by your GCF. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Write it or don't, it won't matter. X squared over x, there's 1x left. I have 1x. Here, 14 divided by 7 is 2. X over x, there are no x's left. Now, this looks a whole lot like this. I've got two factors, two parts. Use the zero product property, set each one equal to 0, and solve your equation. Divide by 7. Add 2. Two answers. Again, factor, factor, factor. We get to a problem like number 3. We talked about the different types of factoring. What kind of factoring is this? Is it GCF? Is it bottoms up? Or is it difference of perfect squares? Very good. Difference of perfect squares. So we can come up with these real quick if you can find your perfect squares. What times what is x? We always cut that exponent in half. 16. Be careful. A lot of you would do half the number. It's not half the number. It's what times what. Same thing. 4 times 4 is 16. So this is going to be minus 4 plus 4. Does it matter which order you put the plus and the minus? Of course not. It does not matter which order I put the plus and the minus. So now I've got my two parentheses. Now I'm going to finish with the zero product property. X minus 4. X plus 4. This is going to give me 4. This is going to give me negative 4. Two factors, two answers. Number 4, we've got our bottoms up method. So again, here we go. 3 times 8 multiplies to be 24. Adds to be 10. Can you think of any numbers that multiply to be 24 and add to be 10? Again, those factor sheets are going to come in real handy here. If you can't think of anything, your factor sheet would look like this. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. And there we find our magic solution. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 plus 6 is 10. So, I've got the bottoms up method. We take our two answers that satisfy the two things, put them in the parentheses, take A, the number in front of the x squared term, put it underneath in the denominator. Does this simplify? No, it doesn't. Bottoms up. Does this simplify? Yes, it does. Done. Finish the problem. Zero product property. Take each one, set it equal to 0. Solve your equation. Again, I got a couple of steps here. Don't try to be fancy and do this in your head. Work it out. Keep it improper. We don't need any more steps here. We got enough going on. Two factors, two solutions. I'm going to show you one more just so you remember all the different types of factoring we had. Again, I'm taking a look at number 5. I'm going to multiply these two together. Multiply to 15, add to negative 8, the two magic numbers, negative 3 and negative 5. Set them up. knock them down. All right, guys and gals, that's the deal. That's what we got. Yesterday we did zero product property. Today we're solving quadratic equations. Factor, factor, factor. We learned 3 kinds of factoring. GCF, difference of perfect squares, bottoms up. Once you factor, set your factors equal to 0 to find your 2 solutions. As always, hope things are going well for you. Reach out if you're having problems, if you have questions, if you have issues. Make sure you're not getting on your family's nerves too much. Make sure you're taking care of business. And let me know if you got any questions. Have a good evening. Or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this.